Three, two, one. Hey, welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the first podcast for three-wheel owners. Today I got a special guest. I got my man Big Fish out of Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas, and he's here to talk about his whole thing going on with his Can-Am's and three wheels. I'd like to welcome you to the show,
All right, I appreciate it, brother.
and I'm gonna start the show off with the same question I usually ask: is what you rolling on?
I got a 2013 Can-Am RT. I got a Can-Am Spider RT.
Okay. And where did you get this RT? Used, new? How'd you
Uh,
obtain it?
I actually got it used. When I very first saw Spyders, they were. I think I came across some video that was they was always in Florida. So I was actually looking at them for about 2 or 3 years and like, man, I'd like to have one of those. And I talked about them so much for about 2 or 3 years that actually for my birthday about 2.5 years ago, I was sitting at work and my wife just sent me a text and said, hey, go up to Plano Kawasaki and see if you like this. I was like, see if I like what? Because the picture hadn't loaded up in my phone yet. So I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. I say I like it already. So yeah, I went up there and copped it. It was actually a 2012 RT. Rode it for about a week. Found out they had like some oil leaking in the driveway, about a $50 size.
Hmm.
So I found out about a Can-Am spot by my house. He was like, "Yeah, you got a hole in the motor casing." So the
Mm.
owner that was selling it on consignment over at Plano Kawasaki, she did the right thing. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy you back out of that one, but I got this 2013 that I just got in. So I'll buy that one back and put you in that one." So that was my birthday gift from my wife.
Ah, so wait, you got it new? I mean, you got it for the
No,
same year? When you?
the first one was a 2012.
Oh.
It was a 2012. It had about 12,000 miles on it, but
Hmm.
the 2013 had like 8,500.
Oh.
So it was a
Okay.
different color, a year newer, and had a lot less miles on it. So I was like, cool, it worked out.
That's a great deal. That's a great
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
So have you ever rode before? Like you ever rode a bike or anything before?
I had called myself trying to get a little starter bike, a little starter pistol. I went to this place and got it like I think it was a what is it like a 250, like
Oh
real
yeah,
basic.
yeah, yeah. That's a basic
And
bike.
I just popped in there one day and just said I want to buy this. The dude sold it to me, and I spent about 4 hours learning how to ride it around the block for about 4 hours. And I lived about probably 35 or 40 miles from this place.
Wow.
So eventually I made it home after stopping up traffic quite a few times because it stalled out. I couldn't get it started. Horns was blowing. So I rode that for a minute and I actually laid it down because somebody eventually about a year and a half later shot out of an alley on me. And I went straight over the handlebars, was on a headstand for about 30 or 40 feet. Luckily, I always wore my helmet. So from here to here was completely scratched up. After
Wow.
that, my wife wouldn't even let me take her up the street to the park.
I'm the
So
same way, bro. I'm the
I say,
same
you
way.
know what? So it didn't take me long to figure out crotch rockets get no respect on the highways.
No, they don't. And let me tell you, from I used to ride years ago, and I was uh, bad at. I wasn't. I was bad at obeying all the traffic laws. Let's say back in the day.
Right, right.
And you know what? I never had a bad accident till the one day I said, you know what? I'm not gonna play games in this intersection tonight. It's a little crazy. And I stopped and I let all the traffic go, except for the one truck driver who says, you know what? I don't see nobody there. Let me just cut across the whole intersection. And I'm
Oh,
like, I'm sitting there on a bike and I'm like, hold on. This guy is not making the turn properly and rolled me right over, man.
oh,
So
wow.
yeah, that thing
Yeah,
sat up for years and
yeah,
years and years. And I
yeah.
was like, I'm not gonna ride no more. And then I got the bug, and the same thing. I saw the Spyders came out, and I was like, that's a lot of money for a bike. I was like, maybe I'll just get two wheels again, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, nah, forget it. And I didn't ride again. And then all of a sudden, that
Yeah.
Riker came out, and I said, "Oh, I got to get this." I was
I've been
like,
thinking about getting one of those. I kind of want to get one of those. It's like I'm back and forth between wanting to get a Riker as a second ride or not. I was like, I don't know, because I sat on one when I went to the dealership getting some stuff done, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know they took off as fast as they do.
yeah, it's a
I sat on it. I
jumpy,
sat
yeah.
on it. I sat on it to take it for a test ride while they was changing the tire on my RT. And I almost came off that thing like a bucking horse. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was like, wait a minute. I said, let me tighten my shoulders up here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was shocked too on when I got on it, because I was riding a pretty fast bike, so I was like, you know, I said, let me see how this is, and I was pretty impressed, man. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, man, this thing really moves. So I got on the waiting list for it and everything. So it was an adventure to get my Riker, because when they came out here, we don't have that many Can-Man dealers in New York City.
Right.
So the one guy that did have it, he was like, listen, man, you can write your name on a piece of paper. I'll call you if I get them in, but they waiting outside online. So I finally searched around. Another guy in Long Island puts me on a waiting list. And then he was just like, he just called me in the middle of the day. Yo, I got two. Can you be here in about an hour? I was like, yeah, all right, man. I just dropped everything, went over there.
Right, right.
And, they come in crates. And he was like, look, I got to build it and put it together and all that. So I waited. But I couldn't.
You got yours fresh out the box.
Pretty much. It was fresh
Yeah.
out the box, man. I was like, so it was from there, I just love it. I love riding. But
Yeah.
how's the riding out there? I mean, do you have like riding seasons where you gotta put the bike down?
It's kind of like pretty much the way the weather is here in Dallas area. It's kind of like North Texas, so it'll end up like getting pretty cold. Like right now, it was like 62 yesterday. I think
Okay.
Monday's supposed to be down to 41. So when we get closer to December, it kind of like gets pretty cold. But I like to ride mine. I'm not really a cold weather guy, but I'll ride mine until I literally can't ride it no more. So mine is probably like garage for about a month and a half in January, half of December, and then we right back at it. But a lot of people out here, they just buy the big coats and just keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah, I'm tropical. I can't do that.
I like turning on that heat in my car, man. Damn,
Yeah.
man. So are you like do you like ride it every day? Is it just recreational? I mean, you pushing it to work? I mean,
well, because of like the hours that I work, it's like 8 to 4:30. Then you got this, Dallas, big city, a bunch of traffic. I'll ride my bike to work on a Monday morning. Then I'm in my work van until that Friday. So for the most part, I mainly ride like Saturdays and Sundays. But when it's warm, I ride my bike home more because we do our meetups and stuff like that on either Tuesday. They used to have this big thing out here called Two Wheel Tuesday, where they would just invite all of the slings and spiders and all that. So we kind of like do that part too.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah, almost year round for the most part.
So you're in a city area. So do you get a chance to like, punch it and get open, or is
Yeah.
it mostly just navigating through traffic?
No, because normally once we hit the highways, I got one of my buddies, Jesse. I don't think he know nothing less than 95. So if you ride with him, you better be ready to like get in and out.
I
So
hear
yeah.
you. I hear you.
So we always what I did was one of our buddies was in a group that was based out of Houston, a motorcycle club out there. And I like an idea that we joined that group to kind of like branch out for when we go to different cities. They had what I ended up calling it an alphabet ride. So you basically just look in your state, just find cities with whatever letter starts. And they actually gives you a chance to ride on a lot of back roads that you normally won't go on and stuff like that. And they was having a contest for riders to keep track of their miles, and they had a trophy and shirt and different stuff like that. So I was looking at that. I was like, man, I said, I need to figure that out, because a lot of times you want to go riding and just don't know where.
Correct. Yeah.
So I sat down one for about 2 or 3 weeks and just put down a bunch of cities. And what I would do is I would actually just be talking to a friend of mine and be like, hey, throw a letter at me. They like, throw a letter at you? I'm like, yeah, just give me a letter. So whatever letter they gave me, I would just, okay, that's where I'm going.
That's
No
cool.
plans or nothing. So when they give me a letter, I would just look on the map and say, where can I eat when I get there?
That's important.
So
Gas
yeah,
and food, man. Gas and
yeah,
food.
so it'll be some good maybe one way. It'll be anywhere from like 98 to 150, 170 miles, 75 miles one way.
That's a good ride.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah, a
really
little
good
something
ride.
for the day.
So is that's how the organization came about? Rolling Spiders of
Uh
DFW?
no, the Rolling Spiders of DFW, as we all kind of like started, you meet this person, they introduce you to somebody else, introduce you to somebody else. What happened was originally, as they were meeting, you exchange numbers.
Okay.
And then they send text messages like, hey, let's all get together. But eventually, I'm one of the people, I delete everything out of my phone, period. I hate sitting there seeing a bunch of old stuff. But a lot of those guys, they keep old text threads. So when they wanted to get together, a lot of people would be excluded because they're using text messages from 2 years ago.
Oh, I see. They keep a group
So
thing.
we was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let's just create a group on Facebook and use that to communicate. But then the more we kind of started to have the regular people riding all the time and the people that wasn't showing up or whatever, we was just like, you know what? Let's kind of like take this a little bit further and make it a little bit more official for us. So we eventually did that. And now we just pretty much done fell, not even by plan, done fell into a riding club. So we got
Oh,
our
okay.
vests and all of the other stuff like that. Yeah.
I've
So we
seen
kind
that.
of getting it, we working on getting everything more organized and repping the right way and all that stuff.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. How many in your club?
We got 20 people that have the vest in the club. And as
Okay.
far as like the group itself, probably got about like maybe 60 people in the
Oh
group
man.
itself that
That's
kind
a
of like pop in and out. But for the official ones that if we say, hey, we want to represent hard the right way, then we make sure we directly communicate with the vested section of the group automatically.
that's pretty good. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. There's
And
is a lot of Can-Ams and slingshots down in Texas. I mean,
oh
is it
yeah.
big? It's a big
Uh,
community out there.
Actually, just yesterday, we just went and kind of crashed a slingshot and Harley event just yesterday because one of our friends is one of our buddies that's in the group. He's in another group that's based out of Houston, and he saw a flyer about slingshots and the audio contests and the
Oh yeah,
Harleys and
yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. They never mentioned Spyders or Rikers on these flyers, right? So I got wind of it, and in our group, I said, you know what? I'm putting a call out to everybody that can make it. We gonna go over there and go show up. So we ended up probably with about almost 50 bikes came rolling in there. So they had the cones put up. You know how they block it so
Yeah,
nobody can
yeah.
get in.
Right.
Our the lead person that was blocking off the traffic, she just went, picked the cones up, and we was just coming in that joint, piling up in the parking lot. Even security turned around and was looking like, what the hell? But we was all up in there, and a couple of us, we did a lot of audio upgrades and stuff. So we ain't on the level of the Harleys and the slingshots because we don't have that much space.
Right.
But me and another guy, we went over there to show them what we was working with, though.
That's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
I didn't really do audio on mine yet because I had like a little boom speaker on it, but once I upgraded the muffler, I don't hear anything but the hum.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's just I gotta wear earplugs now, but
yeah.
the Riker the muffler was way too quiet, man. It sounded like, it was like just a hum. I was like, I don't need this. This is New York. I mean,
Right, right.
people don't give a crap what you want. They got to get in that lane. They gonna get in that lane, and it's good luck to
Yeah,
you. So I said,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
I gotta put a loud pipe on because it's just insane. But I'm missing the music. But where I'm at in the city is dense, and
Yeah,
prior to COVID, it was traffic was just oh my God, in New York City,
yeah.
you don't go now. I couldn't tell you how many times I did 3, 4 miles an hour for like 10, 15 minutes,
Right.
And then
Yeah,
when COVID hit and the roads opened up, then you can get busy and you could do a couple of ride outs and you
right.
could shoot through the traffic. But things are slowly getting back to normal. So there's certain days because I commute on mine. So I'm commuting
Okay.
and I'm recreational. I try to get as much as I can because the winters out here are harsh.
Right.
So I try to get as much riding as I can, until, I got to shelf it up. But it gives me time to do all the maintenance and things
Yeah.
like that.
Because
So,
I've been saying I want to come to New York, man, and come on the visit.
oh, you
But
got to.
I've been talking about bringing my wife out there for her birthday, but her birthday is in December, and that's not happening.
Nah, you're not
But
riding. You ain't gonna see.
she actually just went out there with her sister like last year sometime. Came back, showing me the pictures and the videos. Now I'm like, all right, we got to go back out there now.
I put up a video of a meet for us. It was the 9/11 ride. It's on my YouTube channel. Yeah, we was out there 400 deep, I think.
Cool,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
it
and
was
I actually
crazy.
and I've been watching those videos because I've been following kind of like a couple of people on IG that's out from that way out of Philly, New York, and
Oh,
stuff. And
Philly is big, yeah.
yeah, and I followed your page, so I just been working my way through, just checking out all of the videos. I'm like, man, they really showing out there.
Yeah, they come through when
We still working on trying to get that deep as far as like when you do a full city call out. We still working on that part.
I haven't done the big call outs because of work and everything, because it's upside down over in New York City. So work hours is just crazy. I haven't done the big out of state rides. I just try to get up as many meets as I can. But
yeah,
man, these guys that die hard. I was looking at those guys from Philly, man. They'll get up and they'll drive to like 3-4 states, man. And just out of the blue, we taking a whole weekend and we going. I'm like, man, I mean, that's crazy, but I respect that, man. They're like, yeah, we going, we'll be back Sunday. Like, what?
That's crazy because it's not like it just be 4 or 5.
No.
they be 20 and 30 deep. I'm like,
they take the highways over. I'm like, man, you guys don't play, man. Are you planning on doing any mods to yours or?
The bad part about, well, I guess you could say the bad part about the RTs, we have our whole bike is like nothing but panels. So you could put the ground lights. You can, I got a video on my YouTube channel showing people with RTs, if they want to upgrade the audio, how to access that. But you really can't do a whole lot light-wise because, like the Rikers and the F3s, you put lights on, you lighten up the motor and all of this other stuff like that. If we put lights on the outside, it's pretty much more or less would end up being like a slingshot where you got the strips all along the side and stuff like that. Okay. And I'm kind of debating on if I want to get around to doing that part or not. But only thing I've done was they got the magnets that you could take off the mirrors instead of banging on them with the plastic part. I did the magic mirrors. I changed that out because they way more secure. Upgraded my audio. And that's really about it. I put some wrap on the front part of my bike. I try to wrap it myself with the black wrap in the front to make it different because my color, the yellow that I have, is just not a basic yellow. It's called circuit yellow, which was like a limited edition yellow. Okay. So I wanted to bust up some of the yellow. And since it was yellow and I put the black on it, I went with the bumblebee theme. And I actually ordered some lights from a guy in New York with the words Bumblebee, that's LED lights that I put on my bike. Shout out to him. His name is Pugs Tech, if anybody out there heard of him or know about him. So I saw some slingshots with the LED lights with their names on them. I'm like, if I get that, I'm going to really kill it because I'm going to be the only spider down here with that. So I'm the only one that got it now. So that's really the only mods that I did on it.
I wrapped mine. I totally wrapped mine. That's like that's probably my biggest YouTube video. And it took me about 10 hours to wrap the whole Riker. I mean, it's my first time I've wrapped anything. So And I ordered a special wrap. It was a special color. It's almost got texture to it, the wrap. And it's sort of like, it's kind of like it shape shifts in the sun, but it's all black. So it goes from a light black to a dark black to a gray as the light hits it. Okay. And so when I took it out the first time, everybody was like, yo, what is that? What is that? And I was like, oh, it's called Shadow Black. So everybody's like, oh, that's cool. And then before I know it, that was all they called me. It's like, yo, Shadow Black is here. So I had to make I had to make the IG.
Yeah, okay. So that's where the name came from. Okay.
Yeah, so I made it Shadow Black, and that's what everybody refers it to. So, because I put the name of my YouTube channel on the bike, but it's just too much for everybody. It's like, what is that? What does that mean? I was like, I'm not going into that. Okay, it's just a
Right, right.
name. It's just a name on the YouTube
Yeah.
channel, but
I was actually wondering that myself when I saw the video, but then
yeah,
I saw the other video where you kind of like said something about it. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
yeah, it was a childhood joke that turned into something where, oh, you got to keep that now forever. And
Yeah,
I
it
was
done
like,
got
all right.
attached now.
Yeah, so I had to keep it. So I wound up using it. And then I said, you know what? It's fun. I just keep it.
Right, right.
It's a joke between me and my boy. And a few people know what it's about, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'll leave it alone.
yeah.
But
One of those things. Yeah,
yeah, so I
yeah,
just kept it. But that's cool, man. That's cool.
yeah.
I'm
But
glad you guys putting a lot of miles out on your bikes, man. That's good to hear. I
oh
like
yeah,
to see that, guys is bringing that whole three-wheel community together.
yeah. This COVID put this COVID rained us out because we usually try to make it to a lot of spider rallies. Like last year, we went to Homer, Louisiana. Took us about 12 hours to get there. Should have been about 9, but we was playing around on every stop we made getting gas. So we got there for about 12 days. They used to have one up in Austin. We was gonna go down to Galveston. I got it on my list to go to North Carolina and do the Tail of the Dragon next year, though. I want to go
Wow,
do that. Yeah, I want to
that's
go do that
fine.
one.
I did a podcast with another guy from West Virginia. He said he's gonna take his up to the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
trying to do a little moving around. Because like I say, I did the alphabet ride, but I wanted to include some other states along with the cities in that list. And yeah, this year just got all shot to hell.
yeah, that COVID it messed everybody up. And
Yeah.
it's, when it hit, I bought my Riker in 2019. And I was riding. Then the COVID hit. And I had got it, so I was in bed, and
Hmm.
yeah, I was just sitting there, just watching video after video ride outs, like just getting myself depressed. Like I can't go out and ride. So I said, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna go sit in my backyard and make videos. So I was like,
Yeah.
everybody else does it, why not? And I
Right.
just went out there, and it just started catching on, and it started catching and catching. And just like I want to tell my YouTube fans, I have 70,000 views on my channel, but only 430 subscribers. So that means you guys are watching my videos,
Yeah.
but not subscribing to my channel, please.
Yeah. And that'd be the crazy part. They'll remember your name, come back and look it up. Like, why don't you just hit subscribe so it's in your list already?
Please, YouTube doesn't care about anybody unless they got subscribers. So please,
Right, right.
all my YouTube fan that watch
Yeah,
all my videos of me getting into accidents or fixing up other people's bikers
yeah,
who get into accidents or just want to do their mods, just
yeah. Because even though with the mods, even though it's kind of limited on what I can do, I like messing with them and figuring stuff out. So a lot of people that's in our group and stuff is like, hey, oh, well, do you think you know how to do this? Like, yeah, I probably didn't do it, but bring it on over. We'll figure it out. And I never actually thought about recording them until I decided to do the video on telling people how to access the RT speakers. Because for RTs, you really can't find no videos for our stuff. And I say, well, if it take you 30 minutes to take this, 30 and 40 minutes to take this joke apart, I understand why they don't fool with it.
no,
But
but
I
that's
don't
a
like
good one.
nobody
Yeah.
touching my bike that's not a Can-Am certified tech. So if it comes down to me or having to wait for a shop to have time, I'm gonna figure it out. I can't break that.
No, I mean, you did a good thing because you're right. When you look up Spider, there's nothing out there really for the
Yeah,
RT. So yeah, putting up that video was pretty good for the community. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was a
I
good
figured
move.
I'd try to at least help the people out with the RTs, whether they want to try to follow along with the video itself. Because I mean, you really can't go to a dealer and say, "Hey, can you upgrade my audio?"
No, you can't. And,
So,
and do you have a Can-Am dealer close? Because like I said, out here we don't have them
oh
close.
yeah, we got probably within a 20-mile radius. I got like four of them, four of them within a 30-mile radius.
Yeah, I was
I've only been to two. One because my suspension went out. My air suspension went out, and I needed to get that fixed. And then they're the only ones that can properly change the rear tire when you done put a lot of miles on it to get that switch. So that's really the only two times I've actually been to the dealer. Everything else I just pretty much try to figure out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah. So post them videos up for that RT community, man.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm quite sure people are like, man, what can I do? Everybody out here is all putting lights and sound
yeah.
and all that
So
stuff and rapping. So yeah,
yeah.
keep pushing
I'm
that.
in a couple of groups. I kind of like when I see a lot of questions about the RTs, I kind of like post one. But I don't know. It's like, you were talking about the big wheel and stuff like that, back in the day. So being kind of like an old school cat and not really one to always be in front of cameras and in pictures and all that stuff. I do a lot of laughing and talking, but I really play like the background thing. You know what I'm saying? Not really a spotlight. So I still trying to work my way into trying to promote the page that I have to get people to check it out. But I mean, just in the few months or whatever it is that stuff been up, when I go and look at the analytics on it and the views, I'm like, oh man, that many people actually watch these videos.
It
So I've been
blows you
surprised on
away.
that. Yeah. So I'm
That's
trying to work on being more in the YouTube video thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
how I started, though. You're right.
yeah,
That's how I started. I said, let me just film the mic talking, and then people want to see you. Well, let me see what and then I was like, all right, I'll get in
yeah,
front of the camera
yeah,
now, instead of
yeah.
putting it on the sand. But I'll tell you right now, I'm filming on a low budget, man. I'm using cameras, I'm using phones, I'm using cheap audio. I'm like, you know what? Whatever I got here, I'm gonna do. And I got, a young son, and I'll just be like, hey, here's my video. He'd be like, all right, Dad, let me edit this real quick for you. I'd be like,
Right. Oh
it's an
man.
it's an hour footage. She'd be like, nah, we're gonna knock this down to 3 minutes. I'm
I
like, what?
hey, if I had somebody in the tuck that could take care of the editing part, I probably would be recording like crazy because I wouldn't have to worry about the rest of the work that goes along to
Yeah, I got I got my own little editors here. So I'm
it. Yeah,
like, and they're the ones who tell me, no, you don't need that, you don't need that. And I'm like, all right,
right.
they know. So I'll be like, here, give it back to me. I
Right.
email my editor and he
Yeah.
sends back the footage I need.
Cause even the few videos I have, I swear it takes me 3 and 4 days of just staring at it like, let me try to make this shorter, but I know people attention span, and
Yes.
I just be like, man, I
You
guess I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, YouTube has some attention span. It's hard to
Yeah.
understand the route algorithms, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if someone is interested, they're gonna watch it. They're gonna watch it through. So anytime you start taking your bike apart, that RT apart, then you have to put it on video and say, all right, don't do this, do
Yeah.
this. This is where I messed up. And trust me,
Yeah.
a lot of people just be like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you got a good thing going there. Go keep it
Yeah.
up, man.
I'm trying to figure out how to do some quick hits and make it a shorter thing.
You'll figure it out. I mean, I figured it out. You'll figure it out. YouTube is
Right,
just
right.
it's fickle, man. You're gonna get
Yeah.
in and out of it, in and out of it, but
Yeah.
that's cool. So I'm assuming now I can say you're enjoying that RT. So are you
Oh yeah.
planning on upgrading to something big, or you gonna just stick with that and rock it out forever? What you gonna do?
Oh no, I figure mine is a 13. And for people that have RTs that probably end up watching this, some of the stuff that I noticed with the differences with the RTs, up until the 13, which is what I have, they have a 998 motor.
Hmm.
So with the 998 motor, it burns oil a little more. So probably every 1,000 miles or so, I always check my oil to make sure I got enough in it
Okay.
to make sure it's not running low. But on the third, and it's also only up to 5 gears. So then in the 2014s, they have the 1330 motor in it, and you never have to check the oil in those joints.
Mm.
So if anybody like wants to like look into bikes and stuff like that, that's kind of like the difference with those. So even though I got the 13, it's like I know what's going on with it. I
Right.
done put the money into it now. So I'm not gonna even start looking for another one until I get it around 75 or 80K.
Okay.
Once I get it up to there, then I'll be ready to go ahead and get me something else. And I got it at around 8,500, and I got about 27 on there right now. So I still got about another 2, 3 years. Then I'm gonna be ready to go ahead and get me another one.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great tip for you RT drivers, riders out there. So I guess I hit my attention span mark for my YouTube people because everybody says don't make it more than 30 minutes because I'm not gonna
Right.
watch it. I'm only gonna watch the beginning and the end. But I'll wrap up the show. I want to thank my man Big Fish out of Texas, talking about his RT. Got some great tips he put on the video, man. Promote what you got going. Tell everybody about your channels, your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever you got. Say it out there.
All right, man. On IG, we have the Rollin Spyders of DFW on IG. For my YouTube page, is Spider Row Adventures. I got Spider Row because that's what one of my friends called me from messing with my bike all the time. And it's just all about them Rollin Spyders of DFW, man. And we just reaching out to everybody and trying to network.
All right, you heard it. I'm going to post everything, all the links to all his information down below at the end of the video. This is Keith Hammer from Rollin on 3. I'm going to post all my links. Follow me on YouTube. La Love Rod Full. You could type it in. You could even Google it. I'm the first thing that pops up. You could go to my IG account, which is at Shadow Black Riker. I got a lot of pictures there, links to my YouTube bio. I got a Twitter if you want to send me questions. It's Serving Warrants, at Serving Warrants. You could look all that up. Thanks again for being on the show. Great interview. I'll definitely have you back. I want to hear about all these big rides you got going on out in Texas. And, man, if you in New York, man, you know you got to hit me up. We're going to ride, all right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. It's a wrap on this show.
All right.
Hey, man, thanks, man. When I do all the editing and everything, I'll just hit you up when I'm ready, and you send me some channel art, and I'll put it into the video. So I usually drop about two or three podcasts a month. So
okay, yeah, because I'm working on trying to get somebody, trying to see who I can find to do probably like a logo for us too. Even though I got the name, but yeah, man, and I definitely wanted to jump on that, man, and help support you with the podcast and stuff, bro.
Right.
Because I actually had bought the stuff and was doing some podcasting myself like last year. But I used to have a lot of people say, yeah, I'm going to do it. Then when it was time to record, they would never show up, man. So when I saw that you was doing it, especially for the 3 wheels, I had to make sure I was going to support